A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series, only on Turn 200. It's time to close out the season in style. We'll send off Season 6 on the flaming Viking ship that is known as Atlanta 2008. And tonight, Atlanta is Hotlanta under the bright Georgia sun. Welcome to round 13 of the Daredevil series, season number 6. And welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway here on Turn 200. It's Tommy Cook and it's Matt Williamson. I'm going to put you on the spot here. Ask me how long it's been since we've been here, because there are two correct answers to this.
How long it's been since we've been here at all, or just in the Daredevil series?
Oh, just in the Daredevil series.
Oh, boy. I mean, it's been... I am going to say 3 years, almost 3 years at this point, but maybe it's been longer.
Well, I'll tell you the exact number. It has been 1,365 days since Season 1, Round 1 of what was then called the RAL Legends series. That is a throwback right there.
Wow, I forgot about that.
Season 6, Round 13. This is only the second time the series has been here. The other correct answer, how long has it been since we've been here with the Daredevil series? Way too damn long. That's for sure. Because the show that it put on in our very first race, really our first existing broadcast on this channel, was too good not to be back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway any later than this. But I know you and I have been looking forward to this one. You actually put this race on the schedule. You got to be really excited.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it felt so wrong to me that we had not been back here at all. So I thought we had to put it on the schedule this season because, we weren't, let's be honest, we weren't totally sure of the trajectory of this series going forward at one point. So yeah, I felt like we had to get back here at some point and put one on the schedule for the fans here because this one should be quite entertaining.
If you want a reference to how we started, if you go to the All Streams playlist on our channel, that is stream number 1. I watched it today, and boy, not only is it a really interesting time travel piece, it's just really interesting in general. Good race, questionable production value, and 2 commentators that are just starting to figure it out a little bit. It's really a neat piece to go back and watch. So with that all in mind, we don't have any points to show you because the championship is all wrapped up. But what we do have is a starting grid with 14 drivers ready to go for the final 75 laps of season number 6. And wouldn't you know it, it's Dakota DeMade with yet another pole position on the season. He will lead Corey Rutherford to the green flag on that front row. Paul Ellison will start to the inside of TJ Crampton, who is back for the first time this season here tonight in car number 57. TJ starts in spot number 4. The newcomer of the season is Kyle Allen. He'll line up 5th to the inside of a total newcomer, Jeremy Sumter, with his first ever Daredevil Series start here tonight, starting in the 6th position. Joshua Rutherford still looking for that first career victory. He starts in 7th to the inside of Matt Schlosser in the 8th position. Victor Aldrich and Zach Amspacher round out your top 10 starters. James Watson is the champion. He starts in 11th. Eric Dubois, his team boss, to his outside at 12th. Dan Miglin is also back for the first time this season, starting at 13th. And Brody Gunter with, I believe, an 8-minute, 32-second qualifying lap. Is that right? Something like that. It was rather slow and rather impressive, to say the least. And also rather impressive is Mr. Matt Williamson with today's track facts. It really is hot Atlanta out there.
Man, it is. It really is. 123 degrees is the track temperature right now. That is warm for these drivers who are going to be doing high rates of speed at a racetrack that can really eat some tires up. I know typically we don't talk about the tires too much in this series, but it has been a little bit more of an issue this season with that right front tire, so that is something that these drivers will have to be aware of, but also with the high track temperature, I feel like that really hot right rear is going to rear its ugly head here tonight as well. Drivers are going to have to watch themselves around the racetrack here tonight. If you weren't here for the first stream ever, it got very chaotic very quickly, but these drivers have more laps under their belt in this car this time. Let's see what's going to happen.
The Daredevils are on the move in Atlanta. Whoa!
Oh, there they go. Well, that was your pole sitter.
They call it Hot Atlanta for a reason. Let's try that again.
Yeah, and we haven't seen this too much recently, but our the laps and the timing and scoring gets really, really messed up when not everybody crosses the line before they actually take the green flag, and I don't think they did right there. So this could be interesting for a moment. We'll get everything settled here before too long. Let's go take a look at that one again on the initial race start. So Dakota, I mean, to me it looked like he dipped a tire off in the grass, and so did Joshua Rutherford there. And DeMade gets loose all on his own. Somehow Paul Ellison is able to stay out of him. Paul did a nice job of getting checked up in time for that one. But, yeah, that was interesting. I mean, I don't even know if he... I mean, it looked like maybe a sliver of the tire touched the grass there. I'm not totally sure, though. Let's go one more time on board. Let's just listen to the inputs. Yeah, I feel like it was all based on throttle input. I just think Dakota got loose on his own there on the actual racing surface. So, I mean, that is definitely a sign that grip is not very high here at the moment, especially on cold tires.
So I was just on full mute there, so I may cover over some territory that you just mentioned. But normally this is kind of the grip level that we talk about when we're dealing with restarts on drivers who have stayed out under green or stayed out under a caution and not come in and taken tires, usually in a stock car. Whenever the trucks roll here, if anybody decides to stay out and go off strategy, they normally kind of slip and slide and crash like that at places like Atlanta and Auto Club that have really old abrasive track surfaces. We don't normally see that on cold tires in an open wheel car. That's incredibly rare.
Yeah,
luckily for debate, not much damage there. So that's the good news.
I mean, really no damage for anybody. Paul Ellison was able to stay out of it as well there on the bottom. Joshua Rutherford got off into the grass behind a couple cars behind Dakota as well, and he was able to corral it and not go awry as well. So, yes, very interesting start to this race. I think these drivers are going to be maybe a little more cautious on this one because there were a couple drivers that got pretty bent out of shape there.
Yeah, that definitely, the caution was thrown by me because I thought we were not done with the crashing. And Dakota DeMade over the radio said, well, you didn't have to throw that for me. It's like, well, I didn't think I was.
Yeah, well,
I thought I was doing it for everybody.
No, I mean, to your credit, Dakota spun out, but then Joshua Rutherford got down on the grass, I think, just anticipating something happening. So, yeah, I mean, there was definitely a recipe for disaster there. There's no doubt about it.
So the drivers were told earlier by the very popular vote, outside of the short tracks next season, double file restarts on all tracks a mile and a half and above. So this will be one of the final single file restarts in series history on the big tracks. Corey Rutherford has the honors here, coming to lap number 5. Much more orderly through the gears. We go into turn number 1. We'll just pretend like this was a 70-lap race.
And here comes TJ Crampton, trying to pick back up right where he left off many, many, many weeks ago.
Been a long time, but TJ Crampton, he's on point. Was in the hunt for a Truck 200 championship and then had to move in real life, and we haven't really seen him since. So that's been a few days.
Yeah, I mean, also one of my all-time favorite producing moments came with TJ Crampton right here at Atlanta 2008 in the trucks as well. So, yeah, a lot of history here with TJ and this racetrack on turn 200.
How about Jeremy Sumter getting after it just 7 laps into his Daredevil career? He's unfazed by the interesting start to this race. He's up to second. TJ and Jeremy both in with that Team Watson Racing crew. And, they have taken to it early, it being the front of the field at Atlanta.
Yeah, a little bit of an influx of return drivers and new drivers to the series here in the latter half of the season. So excited to see these drivers mix it up with some of the folks that have been here all year.
Of course, the mainstays, like you mentioned, Corey Rutherford, Paul Ellison, Matt Schlosser. Zach Amspacher, who's been here a little bit more as the season has gone on. He rides in 6th. Kyle Allen tagging along with this lead pack in 7th. Then a little bit of a gulf back to Joshua Rutherford and everybody else in the 8th position. But Rutherford right now, big head of steam, and will close up to this lead pack very quickly. That's a good one to tuck into your back pocket. I know the very first time that we saw Daredevil action on track, The pole sitter was able to get a big breakaway and was really not going to be caught until a caution brought everybody back together. That was something like a 40-lap run where the leader was just not touched.
Yeah,
so I don't think we're going to quite get that here tonight.
No, I mean, unless we have some sort of a restart situation where somebody gets a big jump. I mean, I think at that point it was like just a 2-second gap, but nobody could reach them. And to be fair, the drivers have figured out some more strategies to be able to catch a lead car that's out on their own as well. So I feel like the drivers have a little bit more of skill and knowledge on how to close that gap should that occur here tonight.
One thing that's going to be very tricky, it always is no matter what car it is here at Atlanta 2008, but especially in these conditions, getting onto pit road. If we happen to have green flag pit stops, oh boy, it's going to be messy. Not even a question. It is just going to be messy.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Hello to Joshua Rutherford in the chat as well as on track, and hello to Don Golden as well, watching Joshua Rutherford work its way up here on the outside line, third in line behind Brody Gunster, who, man, fits it exactly into a car length gap there on the bottom and checks up Jeremy Sumter. The Gunster is going to work here.
On board here with Dan Miglin, getting a good shot at these front runners right now. Trying to figure out how to take the runs, where they can put their cars to try and move forward. And Miglin will dive down into the bottom.
Miglin working his way up into spot number 6. As it's Matt Schlosser and Joshua Rutherford still going at it here on the top side. Now Rutherford is going to take Schlosser 3 wide up the gut and take over now the 4th position. But they lose some momentum. Jeremy Sumter, though, is going to help pull the train along.
Yeah, Schlosser way up the racetrack. I thought maybe he might get a big run off the top side, but never really materialized. So that's another feather to put in your hat for a piece of knowledge as we keep rolling on in this one.
Sumter almost got clear there, and luckily he didn't force it. Otherwise, that would have been a big problem for everybody. Now he's going to have to find a way to generate another big run. Remember, Drew White was on the outside on the white flag lap here all those years ago and won the race. Now, I'm not lying. I'm just not telling the whole truth. I'm definitely omitting a couple of details, but it is factually correct that Drew White won that race from the outside.
He did, but yes, you are forgetting 5 drivers shredding their cars and bodies in the fence.
Oh, that was risky there. Miglin put both left side tires down on the flat, getting into the corner. That could easily suck that car around, especially in these hot conditions. As Miglin and Sumter nearly come together.
Yeah, Sumter came down the racetrack a little bit there and nearly made contact with Miglin. But it works out for Sumter. Sumter able to slot in 3rd, and Miglin thought about going to the outside, but just had to back off.
Yeah, checks up big time. Joshua Rutherford has a gap to slot into down low, but I think he's going to keep it up top. And that gap is closed now. So TJ Crampton leading Brody Gunter, Jeremy Sumter, and Joshua Rutherford side by side for 3rd. Dan Miglin rides in 5th.
I'd like to point out that James Watson is back in the back of the field riding, and that typically means that he is working on his pit stop strategy, saving as much fuel as possible back there, and would not be surprised to see him work his magic. Him and Victor Aldrich both back there who have worked together quite well on multiple occasions this season, but Dakota DeMay, not really much of a choice, working back there in the back of the pack as well.
Now, we were awfully tight to the fuel number before that caution So I think that caution may help decidedly make this a one-stop race, but we've thought that a couple of times this season and had drivers literally run out on the final lap. So I'd say the only certain thing is uncertainty when it comes to fuel calculations. And it's good to keep the mental math going at 190 miles an hour around Atlanta. One thing's for sure, TJ Crampton's not saving much fuel. Neither is Joshua Rutherford as they continue to work at the head of their respective lines.
I mean, it's the last race of the season. Yeah, who's saving fuel? I mean, you got to get your butt up there and start racing.
We give a call to Eric Dubois. He was in jeopardy of losing the draft just maybe 5 to 7 laps ago. And not only has he caught back up, but he is going to work, immediately putting himself up into the mix here. It'll make it the top 8 up front.
Shout out to the Monachecks in the chat. Checking out some Daredevil Series racing once again.
So hello to Robin and Data Check. Gunter is really liking to put these left side tires right on the paint or under it, and man, it's risky. But if you can hook that inside line, that's got to help a lot with stability. It's just a really fine line to ride.
And you see multiple drivers trying it. Sumter was able to do it pretty well that last time around there in 1 and 2.
Big run there for Dan Miglin. Stalls out just a little bit, but I mean, he shot out of a cannon down the backstretch.
I mean, he's still got the momentum here. He's going to clear Gunter. Ooh, and Dubois nearly got up into the wall there and then shot down the racetrack as well. Able to corral it, though. Look at this. Dan Miglin making it work. Is this some tire wear coming into effect, maybe?
It might be. Our 2 return drivers are leading the charge here. Crampton and Miglin. Looking down the running order, I think there are only 2 drivers in the field tonight that were in the first Daredevil Series race. And that would be Dakota DeMade and James Watson. And what does it tell you? That they're in 2 of the final 3 running positions right now.
Yeah.
I don't think they feel very safe.
No, I mean, don't feel very safe, but I really feel like they're going for some fuel-saving strategy here for when the pit stop comes. Also, probably don't want to be in the middle of things when pit stops do start, because that pit road entry is going to be kind of a war zone potentially here. It is very, very difficult.
I would say lap 36 to 40 is the window that these drivers are looking at, and they definitely want to be on the back end of that so they don't have to worry about fuel for the rest of the race as Miglin nearly into the wall in the quad oval. These cars are getting dancy. If they weren't already.
A lot of drivers getting down.
Still going up, by the way.
Take a look. Oh, 124. That is hot.
I mean, that's a Kyle Zittel track temperature right there.
Only 1 driver left on the top side now. That is Eric Dubois.
Oh, man. Big check up there on the inside. Corey Rutherford nearly piled in to Jeremy Sumter.
That
was a quick foot there.
Might be some drivers realizing that they need to tuck in to try and fuel save. Not sure. I mean, it was pretty sudden that everybody just got into the bottom line there.
Either that or everybody realized the vibe had shifted very quickly in terms of the handling of these cars.
This is on board.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, on board with Joshua Rutherford. We'll get a look at the handling of this car.
You know, sometimes a big single file line like this is not quite strength in numbers. You know, you get big checkups here in these lines like what just happened in front of Joshua. The further it gets back, the harder it is to react in time. Luckily, these drivers giving each other plenty of space, not even halfway through this one.
Seeing a little bare dirt in the grass down there on the front stretch. A couple of drivers have found their way into the green stuff there on the bottom of the racetrack.
Shout out to the grounds crew for there even being green stuff in July in Atlanta.
You can hear just a little slight touch off the throttle through turns 1 and 2. A little bit more here in 3 and 4 for Joshua, but also a bit of a checkup in front of him as well could have come into play.
Yeah, we're talking 4 to 5 tenths a lap for most of the field off of their personal best laps. We're in the 28.6s. Now, TJ Crampton's the exception. He's still turning personal fastest laps, but that's because he hasn't been anywhere other than the lead yet. But for everybody else, they're running laps exceptionally slower than what they have been. So there's definitely either some tire save or some fuel save afoot, or both.
Oh boy, we're starting to see some movement here to the top line. It's Dubois, DeMade, and James Watson.
And DeWatson.
DeWatson.
I mean, it was right there. I had to.
Shout out to John K in the chat. This is insane. You should be here. Defend that
It's
one
good
race, one win title. You can have 2 races, 2 wins.
Yep. One of these days, we'll get them back. Maybe when they put dirt tires on this, we'll run at Eldora. Or just put it on 100% track state and let her eat. So I think we are closing in on the fuel number here. It should only be a matter of time before drivers are coming into pit.
Oh, DeMade makes a big move to the bottom. That might signify he's eyeballing the pit stop. I mean,
No calls yet.
if these drivers can make it to 40, they should be good on the fuel.
That is true. He did do the All-Star race, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, we don't count that. It's 1 race, 1 win for John K.
And undefeated.
And unfortunately, I don't think he'll ever come back because of that.
The door is always open.
All right, so we are going to make it to at least them crossing the line on their pit stop coming to lap 40. To me, this means that they should definitely be good on fuel.
I would think so. Drivers slowing up here on the bottom.
Especially TJ
No
Crampton.
takers.
I mean, for Crampton to not have to have come in yet, that means that a lot of these other drivers probably at least have another lap of fuel left in there.
Yeah, certainly. He would be the real canary in the coal mine. And he says he's coming this time. So this is going to be the real test here for these drivers. This is going to be a difficult entry. Oh, and
Oh, no!
And the caution is out as others pile in.
Paul Ellison.
Wow. That was Gunter and Schlosser getting together. Paul Ellison, Zach Amspacher, and that... Yeah, the call from the drivers was netcode, and I also saw a little daylight between the two, but you'll get the best look at it here. That was interesting, to say the least.
I mean, I guess on a night where we're feeling nostalgic, the old Lotus 79 netcode has come back to play as well.
Well, I would imagine Gunter was moving up the track because he was directly behind TJ Crampton. But that was strange, to say the least. And Schlosser is out.
Yeah, so let's take a look. We're looking at Gunter and Schlosser here. Oh my, yeah, definitely a lot of room there in between them. And Watson is the one over the radio saying how bad it was, and he had the best look at it of anybody. So, and if Watson says it there, I definitely believe it, and we're seeing it with our own eyes. Let's see it from Watson's point of view. This should give us a nice view of what it looked like on the racetrack here. And Gunter, I think, was pulling up to try and not run into Crampton. Oh, I mean, that's
what I think as well.
There is a ton of space there. Yeah, that is nostalgic Lotus 79 netcode from like 3 years ago right there. Unfortunately for Schlosser and Paul Ellison, that is no good.
Yeah, Ellison will also be out of this race. Zach Amspacher has damage, but I think he also took some damage, but he's off of pit road fairly quickly here, so he might be all right.
Oh, and Ellison made contact with Amspacher there. Ellison was trying to pull, down towards the bottom of the middle of the racetrack to make sure he stayed out of Schlosser. And him and Amspacher made wheel-to-wheel contact. Boy, that was an ugly one.
So this will set us up for a 32-lap dash, if there ever was such a thing. James Watson wins the race off of pit road, and Dakota DeMade is out second. Yeah, the veterans playing this exactly how they wanted to.
Yep.
Britta Gunter is down doing burnouts, kind of, but he is in the third position. TJ Crampton fourth, Dan Miglin right now rounds out the top five. Corey Rutherford, Jeremy Sumter, Joshua Rutherford, Zach Amspacher, Victor Aldrich, the top 10. Kyle Allen and Eric Dubois are in the 11th and 12th in the final two drivers running. So that will have some implications. I think Matt Schlosser might get bumped down to fourth in the standings at the end of the night. And remember, the top 8 drivers pick the schedule for next season. We've got James Watson's pick already, and it's a spicy meatball. We'll just say that. But these other drivers want the best pick possible. I'm sure they've all got some tracks in mind that they want to see on the Daredevil Series schedule next season. So that's what they're fighting for on top of a race win. Watson already with a record 5 victories this season. Would love a 6th, which is borderline untouchable.
Oh,
big!
No. Oh, no.
Yeah. Yikes. That's a single file restart.
Oh, man. Well, I suppose that's why the drivers voted for double file restarts for next season. Oh, man. A couple of restart issues, or I guess a start and a restart issue. Tonight, we'll have to see where this starts. So we are coming to the front stretch here.
I had to go mute again, but I mean, this is just the dangers of a single file restart. And this is kind of why we're doing away with it. The novelty wears off pretty quick.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I don't know if it was just Dakota, kind of hit the throttle a bunch to try and catch up to Watson right before the race start, and everybody else just thought they were going. I don't really know, to be honest. There wasn't that much room between them. Let's go ahead and go on board with Dakota. I mean, there's maybe a car length in between them right here. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like Watson maybe slowed down a little bit. Let's go on board with Watson here. Yeah, that... So, quite a few drivers down trying to get damage fixed right now.
Zach Amspacher, Jeremy Sumter, Joshua Rutherford, Victor Aldrich still on pit road. And they will all make their way off, so no required repairs for anybody other than Corey Rutherford. And unfortunately, that is Corey's race over, as he had multiple wheels detached after that one. So we'll try this again.
So now, it will be like a 27-lap dash. If there ever was one.
If there ever was one, this is it.
Honestly, I feel like this may benefit some of those drivers that are a little bit further back in the pack. They should be able to use this outside line when the tires are nice and good to try and get some track position early and not have to worry too much about going a long run on their tires.
Certainly some nervous moments for a lot of these drivers to be right back in the same situation. Jeremy Sumter, unfortunately, did not get off of pit road in time to stay in front of the pace car, so he is a lap down. A lot more space here as we come back to the green.
Definitely more orderly.
Yes.
But Watson is out to a somewhat sizable gap.
Here's the thing. If it's big enough, it's a huge win for Watson. If it's not, this field is going to charge up on him with a fury that is undefensible.
Yeah, I think he's definitely not far out enough. They're going to come to him.
DeMade is in the slipstream right now.
So Gunter will have to pull in the fourth spot there.
DeMade's run petered out a little bit, and now Watson's going to get help from TJ Crampton, so it's really even keel up front. Oh, Meglin into the wall there as he was trying to get in line with Gunter and DeMade. And now behind Meglin, there is a big gap back to Kyle Allen. Allen might just barely have the draft. But if he can hang on, he'll be alone.
I think he does have it, but yeah, it's a second back to Aldrich after that, and that is too much.
Not saying they can't get it eventually, but they're not going to get it right away. They're going to have to work for it. Allen definitely in the slipstream, close it in. 25 laps to go. It's Watson, Crampton, and Miglin down low. DeMade, Gunter up high, and Kyle Allen closing in. When it gets a little tense.
Yeah, I mean, you got a pack of 6 here. Not that many laps to go. I mean, especially for Gunter and DeMade up here on the top, it's been difficult to make any passes. They are going to have to work really hard. And they really can't take a break.
This has been a night of walking on eggshells. You know, our 2 biggest crashes in series history, both by percentage of the field and also just by total volume, have been on 1.5-mile tracks. So, you know, we've got the blood bank stocked, is all we're saying, and that's been on full display already. But, I mean, it could get bigger, and it has.
Question is, if you're TJ Crampton, when do you try and take that move to the outside? I mean, you run the risk of kind of being boxed in if you wait too long, but also if you go too soon, you might be stuck in the same position DeMade is in.
You'll also have to hope that he has the room to the outside and that DeMade and Gunter don't close up and make it even with Watson. There's Corey in the chat. Unfortunately, yes. But by the way, it will not be on turn 200. But the ASRL Sports Car Championship is back up and operating in the next couple of weeks. So if you're missing out on the ASRL Sports Car Championship, go out and race. Want to see everybody there. I'll be out on the track some weeks. And should be a good time. And there's Matt Schlosser in the chat. 17 McRibs of netcode. Yeah, there was a lot there. The McRib was definitely back in turn 3. That's all I'm saying. I think Jeremy Sumter is going to call it a night from the looks of it. He had a lot of damage on that car and was already a lap down.
I think that might be an idea for the Venom Truck Series Ugliest Christmas Paint contest coming up. The McRib car.
A McRib sweater? Oh, dear.
There's potential there.
That's oozing with potential.
So on board with Kyle Allen, he is at the back of this group up front.
The 3 cars in the group behind them are not catching. That's Joshua Rutherford, Eric Dubois, and Victor Aldrich. They are trying very hard. They're rotating. It is not working. But if these guys get to racing and crash before the final lap or early on the final lap, they've still got a shot. And I think not only is it possible, I'd say it's bordering unlikely.
Well, I mean, after the netcode we saw between Gunter and Schlosser, there's no telling what could happen here. Oh boy, man. Miglin up the gut. Oh, wow. Boy.
Shoots the gap. What a move from Miglin. And he leads the outside. That was...
For those of you that are unaware of Dan Miglin's game, that's it right there. He is willing to make the moves.
It puts him in a great spot here. He'll now have to duke it out with Watson as TJ Crampton is bump drafting, which, you know, it is a thing you can do in this car, but I don't know if I'd be wanting to do it here. It's hot and bumpy. And to Nathan Carroll in the chat, I think the McRib is oozing, yes. But that is a Venom Truck Series term for netcode. Little inside baseball.
So Miglin has now been left out all by his lonesome on the top. Dakota DeMade now brings up the rear of this group. And the laps continue to click away. This one is going to be over in a hurry.
Kyle Allen pulling up to Miglin on the top side. Again, Allen out of line. Miglin again all by his lonesome.
Look at this run.
Boy. I thought Crampton was going to just nip into him there. Didn't happen.
Whoa! Oh, Miglin in the wall. He explodes.
Yikes. That was Watson getting loose, Crampton getting tight, and Miglin getting loose. Somehow they all keep it off of each other. But they all crash. Or no, they all crash. Dan Miglin crashes hard, and he is out of the race in flames. And I think Eric Dubois got into the wall as well, trying to avoid.
I mean, Miglin, that car absolutely. I mean, it exploded. I don't know what else to say.
I mean, that is exactly what happened.
Oh,
That was
man, it
the
looks like
McRib for the 45.
looks like there may be contact here.
I mean, they all come within inches of each other if there isn't contact outright.
Oh, where's that camera angle I just had? Come on. Limited cameras here at Atlanta, unfortunately. There we go. So this is all of them kind of converging. I mean, technically, no contact, but I mean, it's really hard to say whether there was netcode between Watson and Miglin or not. I mean, it did look like Miglin may have just been trying to pull the car off of Watson to make sure they didn't crash, but unfortunately, Miglin into the outside wall hard.
I mean, if you have to straighten out there, you're in for it.
Again, off of turn 4. Boy. That was an incident. They haven't been huge, but they certainly have been violent here tonight.
Yes, they have, and they've taken out 5 drivers. So it leaves us with 9. Joshua Rutherford, Victor Aldrich, and Zach Amspacher still down to get more damage fixed. Oh, baby.
Typically, that would be a porcelain explosion, but I digress.
But yeah. I don't think much porcelain on the Lotus 79, thankfully. We've had certainly a lot of porcelain thrown moments here this evening and this season. It's a stark contrast to see how fragile these cars are. Of course, that's nothing new. But in the face of the Venom Truck Series last night, where the guy that won the race had a hole knocked in his radiator on lap 1, and the guy that finished, I think, just outside of the top 10 was barrel rolling in turn 2 at some point. They're different on Tuesday nights, apparently.
Let's be honest. There was a little help getting into that top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah, but The fact that he was driving at all is absurd.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially considering the other guy in that crash who didn't flip over, didn't finish. Well, this is going to be tricky. Coming to 7 laps to go. A reminder that we do have 1 attempt at overtime should we need it. And we might. But the single file restarts, God rest their souls, have wreaked havoc on this field this evening. Really just restarts in general. The initial start of the race brought out the first caution immediately. It's caution number 3 on the big checkup. Not much time to make up for mistakes on this restart. Watson in control. Crampton, Gunter, Allen, DeMade, the top 5. We're back to it.
Pretty big getaway for the top 3. Allen and company need to make sure they don't lose it here.
Aldrich and Rutherford might be in a difficult position. Crampton already going to work with Watson as Gunter's going to take the run. Allen and DeMade going to be working as Watson and Gunter make wheel-to-wheel contact as they have many a time this season. 6 laps to go. Crampton helping Watson, literally shoving the front wing under the rear tires of the 39.
Allen and DeMade are catching up. I think Aldrich and Rutherford might be too far out.
I think they are also catching. I think they are just close enough. We'll see, though. They might be a buzzer beater. But Allen and DeMade are certainly in it for the win here with 4.5 laps to go.
Oh, contact!
Oh, baby.
Watson got loosened up by Crampton there. That was a big rear wheel movement from Watson. Able to keep it rolling, though, here. And you're right, Tommy. Here comes Aldrich and Rutherford.
Aldrich is going right to work.
Don't have much of a choice. We're coming to 3 to go.
Zach Emspacher might be in the best seat in the house, not in this lead pack, because these guys are going crazy.
Are we going to go 3 wide? Oh.
Yes. Not even going to wait for the last lap.
And Rutherford's going to follow up there.
We are doomed. Absolutely doomed. Oh, Watson and Gunter interlocking. 2 to go.
Oh, wow. Crampton nearly stuffed it in there.
He's making that move next time. Oh, boy. 3 by 2. And Dakota DeMade. For the final lap of the season to make it official. This is it. 1 more lap to go in season 6. 3 wide in the front pack. Gunter has the run down the backstretch in the middle. Aldrich coming on the top side. 1 wrong move and it sets it off. Here's the run to the checkers. Watson ahead. Contact at the line. It's a photo finish, and Watson is going to get his 6th win of the season by 13 1/1000ths of a second as they all go crashing behind him. And Watson is going to be paying a hefty bonus to TJ Crampton, who wingmans him all the way home on the final run. And it's win number 6 for the season 6 champ. Brody Gunter will have to settle for 2nd. Victor Aldrich, Kyle Allen, the top 5.
Quite the season for James Watson here, burning it down once again. Wrap the championship up early and takes another one for good measure.
With number 11 in the Daredevil series, that's the all-time mark, and 6 wins this season is the all-time mark. And I'm sure he's got the podium top 5 and top 10 records as well. A record for the top 10s, which he will have tied himself for. So there's that. Yeah, let's take a look at this final lap. There's a lot to dissect here. Not too much that affects the running order, but I mean, it's another photo finish in the Daredevil series. A lot closer than last time we came here, for the record.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it looked similar to what that final lap looked like, at least into turns 1 and 2 there for a moment, but everybody able to make it across the line this time, although there were some fireworks there right at the line. This is coming off of turn 4. Taking 1 lap to go. Brody Gunter is going to get a great run off of turn 2 here. He looked, I mean, it seemed like it was his best run yet. He timed it pretty much perfectly right when he needed to. He might get pulled off a little bit from Aldrich, who gets even with him there for a moment. But, I mean, he's got Kyle Allen giving him good pushes. There was a little bit of maybe contact there between him and Watson, but the bottom was pretty strong all night. Watson stuck to it, able to take the victory. And we can take one more look right here at the line. As the field is going to implode here, right as they get across the start-finish line, as Allen tried to take it up the middle to try and gain another position. And they all go tumbling.
That's an implosion if I've ever seen one, for sure. But again, it doesn't shake things up all that much. But a nice 5-wide finish for third. Gotta love those. Let's get into the full finishing order here. After 75 very interesting laps to close out the season here tonight. James Watson with the win. Brady Gunter in second. TJ Crampton back in the third position here tonight. We'll talk to these three in just a second. Fourth will go to Victor Aldrich. Kyle Allen will finish in fifth. Sixth to Joshua Rutherford. Dakota Tomade will finish in seventh. Eric Dubois in the eighth position. Zach Amsbacher in ninth. And then DNFs for Dan Miglin, Jeremy Sumter, Corey Rutherford, Paul Ellison, and Matt Schlosser. So that is how they will finish out the final race of the season. But, we will go on the hunt for your podium finishers. It'll be good to have this gentleman back in the booth with us. He'll go P3 in his return to the series. TJ Crampton back in booth 200. Welcome back and congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun to be back, and can't wait for next April and do that season as well. And just came back and had a lot of fun today and got the internet set up, I want to say, last weekend, and been kind of testing it out, make sure it's all good. And it has been so far, and I felt like it was good in that race. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Certainly an interesting night to come back and shake off the rust, if you will. I mean, you got out front and led a lot of laps, really until I knew you were planning on pitting that lap that the caution came out, but you pretty much led the whole way. I mean, what was the learning curve like to get back into the thick of it here in such kind of challenging conditions?
Yeah, it was tough. And when that wreck happened, I was literally going to pit road, and I had 0.2 gallons of fuel left. So that was trying to get back to pit road without stuttering was a bit sketchy. But yeah, I mean, it was full throttle if you're out front, but you did have to manage it if you were in the back or like further in the pack. And but it was a nice race to like get myself back in, because it wasn't that hard. And pit road would have been interesting. That would have been something if there was no yellow right there. But but it didn't. There was a yellow, so it wasn't that bad. And just kind of working with my teammates and getting acclimated to everything again.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great run here. Great return race for you. And excited that it sounds like we're going to have you back for Season 7, hopefully in its entirety. But we come to Atlanta 2008. This is historically in the Daredevil series a very chaotic and race with lots of wrecks, lots of crashing. Seemed like restarts were pretty tough here tonight. What was your experience on the restarts here?
Yeah, on that initial restart, I was not expecting that wheel spin. I mean, I didn't, test any restarts during the practice or under pace laps, but I was just gonna floor it, and the level of grip I wasn't expecting, especially on that one restart. I don't know what happened. It's just like the two cars in front of me kind of checked up, and I ran the back of Brody, and I feel like that might have caused the stack up. So I kind of apologize to them if that was on me, but honestly, it was a lot with this car being so sucked to the ground. I figured it would have a lot more grip than what it did, but honestly, it wasn't that bad, but except for the restarts.
Well, I'm glad you could get back here tonight. It was great to see you back out on track. Let's get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for broadcasting and put on the series. It was fun to be back and uh, plan on racing for April. I mean, who knows? I don't know when I'm gonna find a house and move in Indiana, but hopefully it's before April or after the Daredevil season, not in between the Daredevil season, because that would I don't want to miss another full season. Uh, but I want to thank James Watson and Team Watson Racing, Extreme Performance Mufflers, and all the people that put on the show.
Alrighty, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight. Thanks for the race. Congrats, and we'll hope to talk to you again here soon.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we'll hot swap in your runner-up finisher here this evening, and only by 13 one-thousandths of a second, but Bertie Gunter will bring it home in P2 here tonight. Welcome back to the booth after a wild finish last night. It's another wild finish and another wild podium, and a quite wild race as well.
Yes, so definitely. I mean, from my point of view, but I didn't feel like it was that wild. It was just a couple like door bangs here and there, and trying to do everything I can to make the outside work. But just sadly, with these cars, that kind of like the last couple of tracks we've done, as long as you're leading and holding the bottom, you kind of can just keep it out front, and not really much anyone else can do about it. But gave it my all. That's all I can really do. Just frustrating at the same time.
Certainly. I mean, it did look like you had decent runs here, and those, to your point, are hard to come by a lot of times on the outside. But it looked like, I mean, if it was going to happen anywhere, it might have been here. I mean, it was tantalizingly close.
Yes, I mean, I feel like I had probably like a better shot at Dover at making the outside work. Just I think the pinching actually affected the inside car more here. It felt like because the corner is so big once we exit the corner, me pinching James didn't really do anything to cut his speed off. It was more just me trying to make my line as short as possible instead of running so high and making the corner as long as possible. So I was trying to make it as short as possible and then hope the side draft did something. But as soon as we took turn 3, I saw how much of a gap he made in the middle of the corner from running the bottom and realized I wasn't going to get to him. So I could either wreck him for it or just hope someone behind him wrecked. And that's really the only way, was just someone to wreck him to make me come out on top.
All right, Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a good finish here tonight. I mean, you just kind of mentioned it. Some tough sledding going on there. Trying to make a pass work. I mean, was it even viable to try and maybe try and find a friend to do some pushing here? I mean, it's not the longest racetrack, and you kind of have a short backstretch is really the only opportunity you have. Do you think that was even really viable or beneficial here tonight, or were you just kind of stuck out there on your own?
I mean, normally with pushing, like any, I would say bigger track, like Indy of Michigan, where it is like there's plenty of room to do it. The pros to it is you gain about like 100th or two. The cons is you wreck the guy in front of you, and then you both are out of the race. So I feel like in a scenario like that, it's hard to really weigh the pro over the con, and I feel like at that kind of like situation at that track. It didn't feel like it was doing much. I mean, Kyle was behind me and was pushing me. TJ was behind James and was pushing him like an arrow push, not really like actually leaning on us, but they were helping us. But just it doesn't really feel like it does anything because the wing being so high above the nose compared to a NASCAR where you can carry the wind from the roof to your roof. In this case, the air is already 2 feet above the nose, so it doesn't do a crazy much amount to the car. But yeah, I don't feel like it would have changed the outcome anymore if either Kyle or TJ pushed either one of us.
Well, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I will say start thinking about track selection because you are the runner-up in the points, so you'll have the next pick in the track draft, and we'll be getting with you very shortly on that. But in the meantime, let's.
I already have it, so don't worry.
Okay. Well, I'll be talking to you here in just a few minutes then. But in the meantime, let's get some shout-outs in.
Yes, so shout out to TGI Graphics, as well as Monk Music Productions. I was right, there's no team, but shout out to everyone at Daredevil for coming out the race and putting on a good show. Shout out to you at Turn 200 for broadcasting us and like making us look good. And also like I did in the truck race last night, but shout out to Brady Gunner Racing. If anyone listening or in the race that was watching wants to help me in my 2026 season coming up to help support me and help me get as many races as I can, help me get my name out there, I would greatly appreciate.
Well, certainly are looking forward to all the developments to come here in your endeavors in 2026. Thank you for racing with the Daredevil series in season number 6, and enjoy the off season. And we'll talk to you again here soon.
Yes, sir. I always sent my track pick to you.
Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that one. In the meantime, let's hot swap your race winner in here. 6th time this season. We're talking to James Watson at the end of the night. That is a record. And it's a tight one. Not the closest we've ever had, but 13 1,000ths of a second. There was not much wiggle room in there. And there were a lot of drivers were doing a lot of wiggling, that's for sure.
Yeah, netcode was something else. It was a bit worrisome out there. It was kind of a bummer to see it rear its ugly head, but yeah, happy to it's absolutely wild to me to go from last year, pulling the Matt Crafton, getting the championship with no wins, and then rolling into this season, getting the championship while. Is that correct? Did I break the single season wins record here in Daredevil?
You did last week, yeah, or last race. Yep.
Holy crap! Talk about feast or famine there. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a wild season. It sort of summed up by tonight as well. I mean, good car count for the evening, especially compared to the rest of the season. But man, it was just a handful tonight from the drop of the green.
Yeah, it was quite interesting because you were actually like there was an aero wash, but the car would tighten up a little bit, so it did make running in traffic and side by side a bit difficult. But thankfully things really worked out with being able to fuel save there in the back, make my way up on the outside when people were getting ready to pit, and then with the lower fuel I needed, being able to get track position into the lead right there. Lucked out with things playing out pretty much exactly as I would hoped they would.
Matt, what you got for the race winner and the champ?
Yeah, congrats on not only the race win, but of course the championship. Of course, we've known that for a couple weeks already. But yeah, I mean, coming to the final laps there, you got a pack of 7 with you. You do have a teammate behind you, but you being out front on the bottom, I mean, you're kind of at the mercy of the folks that are behind you chasing you to trust that they're not going to cause any craziness there. I mean, is there anything you can do to try and protect that in that scenario, or are you just hoping for the best?
Yeah, you're hoping for the best. Like you said, you're pretty much at complete at the complete mercy of everyone behind you and next to you. So you're just hoping that things work out and line up. And with having TJ behind and TJ being such a fantastic pusher, if it wasn't for him and the shoves he was giving me, I don't think I would have won that race, truthfully, because I do believe that outside uh, coming off a four to the checker, that if he was just slightly not as good giving me the shove, that Brody would have been able to just get me at the line. But because TJ was doing just such a fantastic job, uh, giving me all the shove that I needed, it worked out. Was able to hold Brody off right there at the line.
Brody said something similar to that as well, where pushing wasn't worth very much, but you didn't win that race by very much either. So certainly TJ wingman you there at the end of the race was great to see, great to have him back, and great to have you in victory lane, not just tonight, but so many times this season. I'm glad we've. I know you won the championship last season, but you're right. It was a little frustrating, I'm sure, as much for you as it was for us to watch you come so close so many times. It definitely have made up for it in spades here in season number 6. So the floor is yours once again. Now as the official champion and no longer the champion-elect. Let's get some shout-outs in once more.
Yeah, it was funny, not winning a race last season, pressing the win button and nothing happened, so it just kept pressing it, and then it just like the printer where all of a sudden now it's printing nothing but wins. I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting this, but I'll take it. This works out. It's much better than the actual printer where you're just getting bombarded with 6 copies of the same report that you didn't need. You're happy with this, but yeah, I gotta thank everyone, of course, at Team Watson Racing Setups. It was good to could have a lot more of us back here, with not just me and Victor, but Eric being able to hop in, Dan coming back, TJ coming back, Jeremy Sumter making his debut, and I know that Chris has kind of taken a bit of a sabbatical, but I know he would have been here if not. So it was nice having the voice chat full and everyone having fun and interacting with each other. It was really cool. Use code WATSPIN39 for 10% off at checkout, and couldn't have done it this season without their help and their support. I gotta thank Binks Designs, Icon, Sim Racing Apparel, National Racing Network, Inside Lane Productions, Track Racer. My folks are watching at home, and Megan as well. It was her birthday last week, so happy birthday, mwah! And thanks for you guys for continuing to put the league on, and can't wait for April to be here when we're doing it all over again.
Absolutely, partner. All the best to you in the off season, and we'll be seeing you on Wednesday nights on track, I'm sure, with the ASRL as well. But in the meantime, go celebrate the title, go celebrate the wins, and we'll talk to you again in April.
Alrighty. Cheers, guys. Here's hoping.
There's a chance that we could talk to him on Friday night as well, but more on that in a minute. Partner Season 6 was it was full of ups and downs, but at the end of the season, you look back at every race, there was great racing, and like James said, there was great fun as well. I know some drivers are frustrated about some of the outcomes, but they're having a good time racing, and that's really, at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was an interesting season, no doubt about that. But like you said, you could look at every race, and there was always something exciting to watch throughout it. So it was another successful season, and I mean, we couldn't be here without the drivers that show up and racing this series every week. So shout out to all the drivers that have been here this season. Very, very much appreciate it. Hoping that you might invite some of your friends to join us in Season 7 as well, because with more cars, it only gets all that much better. So, yeah, thanks to all the drivers here. Thanks to everybody that's been watching the Daredevil series this season, particularly those that have been in the chat here tonight. Zach Amsbacher, Don Golden, Matt Schlosser, John K., Nathan Carroll, and Joshua Rutherford was in here before he started his endeavors here tonight in the race as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in. And Tommy alluded to some Friday night racing coming up. Got a couple here for you.
Absolutely. We've got tomorrow night the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series at Daytona, the penultimate round of their championship on the Super Speedway at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Friday night, it is the Dirt 200 Special back at Bristol Dirt. We'll hope to see you back there at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Venom Truck Series Chase continues Tuesday night from the Tricky Triangle, Pocono, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And as it says on the bottom scroll, and as we've said a couple of times throughout the course of the evening, the Daredevil Series will return in the first couple of weeks of April. Still TBD on the exact date, but it will be sometime in early April as we confer with some other series on the best way to schedule going forward. So looking forward to getting back on track here on Wednesday nights, and that will be the only thing on Turn 200 for the foreseeable future. With the Daredevil series back on Turn 200 in April. So if you're going to start missing Turn 200, just remember, we'll be back, and we'll hope to see you here. That's all we got for you here tonight. Thank you to the Daredevils. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson. That's all we got for you here. Until we meet again from Atlanta Motor Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to the Season 6 champion, James Watson, on his 6th victory. Have a good night.